Good afternoon to you all. First of all, I want to thank Blessed Bonding organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share some insight on the topic, advancing neurodiversity and UN Sustainable Development Goals. Also, on the fact that I am here today, standing here to represent all the children over here, because my profession over here says, as you have all gone through the program as Child Welfare Committee, I'm here for all the children over here to speak on your behalf and also share some insight on what Child Welfare Committee is all about. I was just going through the program and then I was really impressed by how the organizers tailored it, because it's such a comprehensive program that I think if we have to, start a school or something like that also, this is more than enough. You don't need more people. All the experienced professionals are here. We have the clinical psychologist. She here? She went? Okay. She described beautifully what autism was. And then also we have the beautiful parents, Stephanie. I want to also, firstly congratulate all the caregivers, including the parents, because of you that Blessed Bonding has come to be, and then because of you that children are now getting the support system that they need, and this is what we need in this society. Also, I want to thank Keystone founder. So good to have learned something new. Of course, even though this area is very new to our society, but as Dimapur should spearhead this. Also, I want to thank our advocate Moatila for helping us know what our rights. I think learning about our rights is so important, so thank you so much. If she's not here, I was really impressed by the program. I mean, it couldn't have been done, tailored by one person only. And I'm thankful to Madam here, Miss Madam, yes. All the members of Blessed Bonding for this opportunity. Also, I want to thank the person who's at the backdrop from the beginning. She's the main person who should be here instead of me, because she's the one interacting with the children. So she's been patient enough. So I'm so glad that, if I could do the sign language, I would have done it. But I'll do this to you all. Yeah? To all the children, yeah, I'll do this to you all. The 2025 theme focuses on embracing neurodiversity, encouraging society to take action that support individuals with autism and foster inclusivity. The day serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding and celebrating the contribution of autistic individuals in communities worldwide. The purpose of this day is to create awareness about autism and also talk about the rights of people with autism. Before I delve on it, I want to just give a gist on what Child Welfare Committee is all about. Has anyone ever come across a Child Welfare Committee member? If so, please would you raise your hand? Yes, anyone have heard about Child Welfare Committee? Yes, one, two, yes. And I have my member over here. Wait, thank you, ma'am. I think I got one of my members sitting behind. Yes. Thank you so much. Let me just give you a definition of what Child Welfare Committee is all about. For the children in need of care and protection, the state government, by notification in the official gazette, constitute for every district or group of districts specified in the notification one or more Child Welfare Committee for exercising the power in relation to the children in need of care and protection. Now let me tell you who comes under it. Okay? Any children below the age of 18 years comes under children in need of care and protection, and they they are called juveniles. Okay? Juveniles. So under the JJF and Juvenile Justice Act, we have been formed, this committee has been formed by the government, so that we look into your matter, your children's matter. Now, this program has been beautifully laid, therefore I am at the last to sum up everything. Now, everyone has given you a gist of everything. Now, the lawyer advocate has already sensitized you on the rights. Now, I am here. We as a committee of 5 members for every district represent you all over here. So we have been formed to help you all. If there is who are children in need, you all are in need. And who are those who can, reach out to us? Any children who have been abandoned, any children who have been surrendered, any children who are orphaned, any children who are into child labor, any children who are, who have been sexually abused, any kind of abuses, any children who are facing problems like that can come to us, and then we are there to help you dispose of your case. Alright? We are here for all of you children. So your voices, we will be there to stand for you, and we will be there to fight for your right. Alright? So, not only that, but we also do that. We also provide rehabilitation, also counseling, and we make sure that when we dispose of any cases, also we make sure that the children are well settled anywhere, whether it's finding adoption also, we help you through the process. So the committee has the authority to dispose of cases for the care, protection, treatment, development, and rehabilitation of children in need of care and protection, as well as to provide for the basic need and protection. Here in Dimapur district also, we have child care institutions called Place of Safety. We have where we rehabilitate our children who have nowhere to go, no family. I'm surprised to say that even Dimapur has a lot of children who don't have anywhere to go. But I feel you children over here, you're so blessed that I'm sure you all have family here. But there are children who are still without anyone to take care of them. So who can come and file a case, or who can come to us, or who can produce the children to us? It can be any police officer, it can be any public servant, it can be the child himself or herself, or it can be any NGOs, or it can be any friends also. Or have you heard about Childline? Has anyone heard about Childline? If you face any problem, you have the Childline, right? So 1098 is the number, right? 1098, yes or no? Yeah. So if you face any difficulty, please, child 1098 to Monday Rakibi. You are now will become nine, you keep Korea become nine, anonymous will be more enough. You know, Iniga wish it, Molakolani, Iniga problem face wish it, our time model Lagide, Boledo, Iniga, Rena, Abnica, Paul Gridishido, Childline Kangra, they will take the matter and then they will give the case to us. Final decision making part is with us, so we will dispose from our office. Whatever it is. After counseling, after deliberation, we'll make sure that the child is safe before we dispose any case. So please remember this, and this is such a beautiful platform to share about this awareness of this committee also, because many people don't know what who or what child welfare committee is. Anyway, I know I don't want to make my speech boring also, but I was really impressed by the parent who shared, who gave her testimony. I was really impressed because these days our parents are tech savvy, right? Tech savvy. How many of you like watching mobile phone, kids over here? Please raise your hand. Phone, apata. How did you learn that? Through phone, right? Yes. So apata, right? That is technology. And when you use technology in a good way, I think we can do so many things. So likewise, just want to share a few, ideas on how we can use technology for the betterment of our children. So, have you heard of a term called AI? Everyone is talking about it, right? Artificial intelligence, right? So how AI is revolutionizing therapy and empowering individuals with autism. See, on World Autism Awareness Day, we take a look at the groundbreaking role of artificial intelligence and technology in autism therapy. First is, as rightly said by Dr. Manish Sharma, principal of Venkateshwar International School, he highlights that technology has fundamentally changed communication and education. She says online tools and education apps let teachers deliver dynamic lessons and modify their teaching methods to cater to varied learning styles. Just as how our mother who had just shared did that. She did not know where to go, but she found, someone online who could teach her. And she in turn could teach her what. So we have to be very tech savvy these days. Keep up with the time also as parents and caregivers. And the next is data-driven therapy. Machine learning algorithms now help therapists identify early intervention. Amazing what technology is doing with the advancement of technology. So this thing is nothing new now. In the West, they're so advanced. We also have to keep up with the West. So this, what they do is AI-based predictive models can detect autism in children as young as 18 months. So I think if psychologists also see that if we can detect a child in an early age, in their formative age, I think we will be able to groom them such an independent human being that they will be able to stand on their own feet. And the things are the saying that like advancing neurodiversity, we have to help these children stand on their own feet, and this is the right time to impart that education in them. If you go through, there's so many therapies that you find online also, and you have this virtual reality. And this is, have you heard of virtual reality? You have to use this equipment, and then there you have all the videos, and you will feel like you are there, present in that. The virtual reality will take you there. So it's amazing what technology can do, and there are tools for especially able children where virtual reality software can help you learn new skills, or learn so many other things also. Let me give you an interesting story. What your children can do and become also. Okay, I'm sure you all must have heard about famous personalities who's believed to have autism, like Susan Boyle. Anyone? Yes, okay, yes, Susan Boyle, right? Susan Boyle is believed to have autism, and she's the past winner of Britain's Got Talent, right? And she became an overnight sensation. Despite her disability, she turned her gift into a reality, and that's how she won Britain's Got Talent. She's one of the most famous, musicians also. Also, I'm sure you must have heard about Charles Darwin, right? All those people, like Anthony Hopkins, Sir Isaac Newton, all of them have believed to have had autism. And famous one. Okay, how many of you like Pokemon? Children. Pokemon? Yes? Okay. So the inventor of Pokemon, Satoshi Tajiri, so he was also diagnosed at an early age. And then he grew up playing Nintendo video games. Anybody know Nintendo? In Japan it's very famous, yes? So what he did was he created this app, this game, where he had a love for insect, and he integrated this insect innovative idea called Pokemon, where gamers would collect unique fictional creatures and use them to battle against opponents. So, our psychologists have mentioned that they have a really high IQ, right? And they are wired differently. So, parents and caregivers, if we tap into that, I think there's no looking back. We can create geniuses out of these children. Also, no list of inspiring people with autism could truly begin without first mentioning Temple Grandin. I'm sure you must have heard. Mute until the age of 3.5, Dr. Grandin was diagnosed with autism as a young child and was eventually able to speak thanks to her speech therapist. Finding her voice, she went to publish Emergence, labeled Autistic, a groundbreaking book which is widely regarded as the first real insight into the life of an autistic person. Please go through it. If you have not read it, please read it, and you will get an insight of what it is to feel like having autism. Although it is important to remember that many people with autism need much more support than others, each person with ASD has their own strengths and abilities, and it is our duty as caregivers and as parents and educators to help them tap into it. Right? Just as how Susan Boyle and Charles Darwin, and how this Pokemon inventor, and how Miss Dr. Temple could tap into it. You know, they are not just normal people, they are extraordinary people, right? I'm also thankful I'm so great today. I'm just full of thankfulness because I've seen so much of potential in support system, like how I think Classic Bonnie is also one of the support systems. Yeah. So you know, like-minded people have come together to create a society that supports parents and children living with autism. And I think more support systems should come up. You guys can be that example. Blessed Bonding can be that example to the society at large. And also, I've just come across a new term called respite care. I'm sure you might have heard about respite care. For the people who are running NGOs and all, I think respite care would really benefit caregivers. I know it's taxing to be a mother or to be a parent to a special need. Sometimes you need that rest also, right? So that is what respite care does. If there is a place where you can take, caregivers can take a rest, and so that the children are occupied somewhere, I think in the future, services like this can be available. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and also opening my eye also and the eyes of others also to this new spectrum of society, world, and also the children who have come here and, you know, given spectacular performances. I don't know what to say. I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude and humility to see, you know, that God's greatest gifts are the children. So we as nurturers, it is our responsibility to take care of them. And if we don't do our duty, I don't think we have any voice, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, we are accountable for every children's life. And as Child Welfare Committee, as the Child Welfare Committee chairperson also, and my members are also here, we are here to look into your matter. If there is anything, feel free to approach the committee, or you can approach anyone. We are there for you. We will stand for you till the end. Thank you so much.